This is another Tesla Tips and Trips video. You join me inside my Tesla Model Y Performance, and we are going on a road trip. Yes! It's been a while, actually. Los Angeles County up to Mammoth Lakes, California. Yes, we're going to do road trippy kind of stuff. Yes, we're going up to, tubing and snowboarding and all that kind of fun snow stuff. But on this video, we're going to take a little different spin on things. We've all seen the EPA rated range on the website for this particular model and all the other models. And we're going to compare it to real world and see what it looks like in a colder weather environment. So stick around. This is Tesla Tips and Trips. All right, to give you the particulars, we have, first of all, we've reset it. We've got a Mammoth setting here, and it's going to be showing up in our card. So we are zeroed out there. This is a Tesla Model Y Performance, a 2022 year. And the rated range on it is 303 miles. So we're going to see what it takes to get from home to Lone Pine, California. That's our first stop, the Supercharger there. We can easily make it. In fact, it says, let me see here. It says we can make it with 24% left on the clock there, or on the battery, I should say. So 2-hour, 47-minute drive, 173 miles. We are looking at 259 miles right now on the battery. We're charging it right now just to warm it up basically and get it ready. Oh, and the temperature is 54 degrees. So those are the numbers. That is what we're looking at right now. And we'll give you the numbers once we reach Lone Pine. So you're going to know exactly what it, real world was and what it looks like when we arrive at Lone Pine. And then the next leg will be Lone Pine to Mammoth. We can easily make that trip in this particular model car. All right, let's get it going. And we are off to Mammoth. I just showed you a few minutes ago, 266 miles on the battery. It's a 173-mile trip. We'll see what exactly real world is compared to what is promised or rated on the Tesla website. So we're looking at 55 degrees right now. I think our destination is in the 30s, maybe even lower today. So it's going to be a kind of a cold weather test as well. So we'll catch you at Lone Pine and all the points in between. All right, a little dose of reality set in here for our, real world test. We left our house. We had 22% estimated to get to Lone Pine. As we're driving, it dropped to 19%, 16%, 15%. Then it was fluctuating between like 9% and 12%. Then it dropped to 5%, and we're like, what is going on here? We redid the trip and all kinds of stuff, and we finally realized it's windy, and it's really, really windy. So, I thought our McDonald's was getting delivered. No. So we are going to have to stop off here at Mojave, which is a good thing because this is a brand new supercharger for us. We'll get to add one to our list. We haven't been to this one. It's brand new, or somewhat new compared to the one that's been here forever. So we're going to do that, do a little top up, and then we'll do our real world with lots of wind from Mojave to Lone Pine now that we have to make this stop anyway. We're going to grab some lunch. It's not a big deal. All right, we're coming up on the new Mojave Supercharger. We have never been there. It's basically, I think, on the same route to the other one. Same direction, same everything. It's just before the other one, coming from Los Angeles anyway. And I think it's right here at Denny's, right? Yeah. Oh, I just passed it up. Well, we'll have to go around the parking lot a little bit. So here we are. This is, I guess we'll call it Mojave 2, right? And this is a how many stall? 12. 12 stall, wow, okay. And it's V3.
On the other side, I think.
What do you mean?
Like the stalls are on the other side to plug in.
All right, so our change of plans brings us to this new Mojave location, and we are going to plug in. And so this is a first for me. I have not seen superchargers with plastic barriers on the other side. They really don't want you parking on that side. They want you parking on this side, as you can see. And so when we rolled up, we thought this pickup truck was icing a spot. It's actually not. It's meant to be on this side of the barrier. So let's take a look. This is the side you're supposed to be charging your Tesla on. And then the other side, I guess you can, pull it around. But so here we are at the Mojave 2, and we are charging. And the reason we're here is because we were didn't realize there was so much wind. So we are plugged in. We are now gonna reattempt to go to Lone Pine, which is where on here. This will now be our real world test, I guess, although there's wind involved, so it's gonna be a little bit different. All right, so we're gonna unplug. We are at a 32% arrival for a Lone Pine. We have added 75 miles. We are charging at 54 kilowatts right now. So we're going to unplug. I'll give you the stats before we leave. Check out the mountains, by the way. It's the Taptes Mountains and all the windmills and stuff. It's pretty cool. So good location. We're at a Wiener Schnitzel. I think there's a Denny's nearby. And that's it. So, all right, let's take a look at these stats. 235 miles on the battery. We are at 82% state of charge. We are looking to make it to the Lone Pine Supercharger with a 32% arrival. And that's because we've got lots of wind is why we decided to do a huge buffer. We should also note, with 4 people in the car, we're not really using the heater. Once we get it up to temperature, I'm turning it off. And so those are our stats heading into Lone Pine. A little bit of change of plans with these winds. I should also mention this is the President's Day weekend holiday, and there are a lot of Teslas on the road. I have a feeling we're going to be waiting at Lone Pine. Let's get out of here because there's a wait here. So we are experiencing some definite real-world wind situations here. We left Mojave with 32% estimated arrival at Lone Pine, and look at it's at 19% now, and it's been fluctuating. 19's been the lowest, and we're hoping it stays there, but I'm kind of reducing my speeds all of a sudden because of that. If you take a look here, we got 186 miles on the battery, and we have to go 85 miles. That's crazy. We should have plenty, no problem. Percent-wise, we are at 65% on the battery. So these numbers are just, we just dropped to 18%. And again, this is a holiday weekend. My guess is we're gonna have a line. Right now there's 3 available in Lone Pine, but we'll see. There are at least 2 Teslas ahead of me because they flew by. I saw that. So that's our update. We're battling winds here on this holiday weekend in our Tesla Model Y. All right, we're coming up on Lone Pine, and it says there's a short wait. We will see.
Yeah, there's a little thing on the pole.
And we have waited here before. We've also waited in Mojave.
But there's one right there.
Is there a spot open?
Yeah, this end one right here.
Yeah, unless it's not working.
All right.
And that pole end over there.
Let's see if it'll work. Let's pull in, and there are people here. Lots of Ys, lots of 3s. Yep. And we're here. Lone Pine, let's plug her in and see what happens. There we go, got it in. Good. Let's take a look at the numbers. Okay. So we are starting to charge. So we did arrive, let's see here, we arrived at 17%. Arrived at 17%. We originally had a 32% estimated arrival, and it dropped to as low as I think 14, and then kind of stabilized at 17. And obviously now we're supercharging, and we're getting good speeds too. Look at that, 221. I was running it pretty hard heading into Lone Pine, about 50 miles away, maybe 40 miles away. I was running about, well, I can't even say on video. It was a lot. But that warmed up the battery, so we're at 226 kilowatts, 228. We're still going up. That's great. 19%, 58 miles. By the way, the nav did say there was a 5-minute wait. We rolled up, and there's actually 2 stalls available. So that's good, right? Not exactly accurate, but I like to see that. If you're coming to Lone Pine in the coming weeks, they do have it phoned off for some reason. I'm not sure why. So you have to use this back parking lot back there and not come through the this museum thing. Maybe that's what they're trying to avoid. So we're gonna sit here for a little bit. Let me put in a Mammoth on the nav, and we'll see how long it's gonna take. Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Just Mammoth Supercharger.
Mammoth Supercharger, yeah. All right, here we go. We are navigating to Mammoth. If memory serves, it's exactly 100 miles.
99.
Okay, well then somehow we lost a mile. So there we go. Hour 58-minute drive, and it still hasn't done the estimate. Oh, here we are. Estimated charge time of 30 minutes. So it's asking for a pretty deep charge. Where do we have it set on the battery? Let's put it all the way. So there we go, 1:50 p.m. Plugged in right away, no problem. And we are supercharging. All right, so we have enough to get on our way. We have 210 miles added. We have a 20% buffer in case any wind or cold or elevation changes, which we know are going to be there. Plenty on the battery, I think, that we can make it from Lone Pine to Mammoth. And check out what it costs. $24.24 to add 211 miles on the Supercharger. And let's go unplug because this guy's waiting, and no reason to stay any longer. Wow, you're on it. Boom. Unplugged, ready to go.
Okay. Do you have another set?
Here we go. All right, we are rolling into the Mammoth Supercharger. We just wrapped up our first leg of the trip, and it is just walls and walls of snow. And we've been to the Supercharger before. All right, part one of our Mammoth road trip from LA County up to Mammoth, cold weather edition in our Tesla Model Y Performance. We have arrived, as you can see over my shoulder here, to the Tesla Superchargers in Mammoth Lakes, California. Now, we are charging as soon as we rolled into town, because it's always best to do that while the battery is warm. We've been, driving it, we've been supercharging it, we've been preconditioning it. It's always best to throw it on the charger as you get into town, because tonight, for instance, it's going to be in the teens. It's going to cold soak the battery. It'll make it a lot longer and more painful to charge this car while we're here on the weekend. So we're going to get as much charge as possible. We're also going to lose some charge because of the cold. So we're going to charge now, get as much as possible before our check-in. And let's take a look at the stats for the first leg of the trip. Remember, from LA County to Lone Pine was just off the charts bizarre. And wind, I think, was the biggest factor. We had to stop in Mojave for a charge, which was unexpected. The estimations were all out of whack getting to Lone Pine, and it had to have been the wind, definitely the wind. So once we got into Lone Pine, we got out of the car, and it was actually nice. It was beautiful. Didn't even need a jacket or anything. And the estimations from the Lone Pine to Mammoth portion of the trip was way better. It was dead on accurate. It fluctuated maybe 1 or 2% here and there, but not too much. So let's take a look at the final numbers for this leg of the trip. All right, first and foremost, this is from home to the Mammoth Supercharger, 277 miles, 115 kilowatt hours used. But look at this number, 416 watt hours per mile. That is huge when you consider the lifetime since delivery of this car is at 285. So the wind, I mean, was a huge factor, just to give you an idea. And so listen to the nav. Even if it's acting funky and weird, there's a reason for the estimations. Although I think it was a little estimating just to make sure, I think. So there you go. 416 watt hours per mile for this particular trip, 285 lifetime. This car is usually way more efficient. So as far as the Mammoth charging goes, we're still at 104 kilowatts. We've added 72 miles to the battery. None of this is going to make any difference because once the cold hits, we're going to start losing charge. It's not going to be by miles. Let's take a look at the percentage. 57%. And that's it. We are in Mammoth. So our particular hotel does not have a charger of any kind. I don't even think they have a wall that you're allowed to use. So luckily, this Supercharger is literally blocks away from our hotel. So we're going to get this done and head to our hotel, go grab some dinner. And that's part one. Thank you so much for watching Tesla Tips and Trips. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on part two of our Mammoth trip, which will have all the snow fun, and we'll do some cold weather stuff. We'll see how much we lose overnight, that sort of thing. So, and then the trip back. So that'll be part two of our Mammoth weekend on Tesla Tips and Trips. Catch you on the next one.